Stop the car, Dennis. Stop the car. Stop the car. Quick, we go back.
You've seen it. It's a cheap muscle car. That rare muscle car is parked outside in a driveway. You stop. I'm gonna look.
Please, I'm not for sale.
A 1970 Pontiac GTO Judge.
It's not for sale.
Not for sale. Same old story. You try anyway.
What are you asking?
Again and again.
He's not for sale.
I'll talk to the owner again. Maybe I'll get a closer look. Maybe they'll sell it this time.
Look, I'm buying her. I don't care what you say.
Cardinal Red, a real GTO Judge.
He's not for sale.
4-speed, hood tack.
It's not.
You try anyway. You stop. You drool again and again. You watch. Oh, you watch. Waiting for just the right time. The owner's walking to the mailbox. Or maybe they're cutting the grass. You just kind of pull in, make some small talk, get a closer look. It's not for sale. Soon enough, you understand. Then 20 years goes by and a blink, bam, it shows up on eBay. Family needs forced the sale of the 1970 Judge. He didn't want to let it go, but family comes first.
I'm sorry about your car.
The legend behind this 1970 GTO Judge that is unique to Alabama. His original owner was a black police officer in Birmingham, Alabama. Let's hear the current owner, Les Muntz, tell us about his part in this Judge's story.
And I always just found that interesting because I know with all of our racial indifferences in this state, and especially at that time frame, he had to be a very special individual. And then to go out and buy a bright red GTO and tool around in it, that was pretty special. Didn't really know the second owner. I had met the third owner years ago over in Midfield, and I was going around in my 72 Granville convertible, and we got to talking and everything. And then at that time frame, I even said, boy, I would love to have a car like that someday. Then when the fourth owner had put it up for sale, after I'd purchased it, I found some receipts in there, and I made a phone call off one of the receipts, and it was that gentleman that I had met over in Midfield, and I said, oh, wow. So I did actually buy the car that I wanted to own someday. I've had the car for roughly 22 years. Sadly, it's gone into disrepair, but it is a 1970 Judge Ram Air 3 4-speed. Still has the M20 4-speed with the Hurst competition shifter with the T-handle. Has 355 rear in it. Red interior, cardinal red interior, sandalwood top, which is interesting. I have yet to find another red GTO or Judge with a sandalwood top. Do have the invoice, the build sheet to prove its authenticity and everything, and the options that it has. It is actually a lower option car. Does have power steering, power drums, 4-wheel drum. Has center console and came with AM radio. Other than that, everything is just as standard. It still has the Ram Air hood tack, flaps with the Ram Air pull in the dash, and just needs to be restored back to its former glory, which the new owner, it has sold. It is going to a gentleman in Chicago area who has an extensive collection of GTOs.
Yeah, 1970 was a big year because they made a movie, that a 70 Orbit Orange.
2-lane blacktop, Warren Oates, and it was actually a GTO done up in Judge type trim with the wing. Really a good movie. It's a great cult movie. And most all were hard tops. There were 168 convertibles built. Most were Ram Air 3 cars. You did have Ram Air 4 and also dealer installed Ram Air 5 options. But
yeah, the attrition rate was pretty rough back. People raced them, drove the snot out of them, and they got wrecked, and people stole them, stripped them.
Yes.
So having one complete and together, this,
and to have one documented is really important because there are so many clones running around, because a lot of people just put the wing on, put the stripes on it, put the Judge emblem on it, and go around with a Judge. And it's to have an actual true Judge, I think is extremely special. Very hard to find. Go to a lot of car shows, you very rarely see one that's a true one.
Yeah, 53 years. Probably been repainted once. I know it's got a different top on it, but it's a lot of original?
I know the last time it was
Interior.
repainted was 1995. That was when the third owner, he had worked at Town and Country Ford over in Bessemer and worked on the car in the middle of the nights and stuff like that at the dealership. They let him have the bays to work on the car, and so he rebuilt a lot of stuff on it, repainted it at that time. So I know it has not been repainted since then.
Yeah. Was it Jim Wangers that was behind the GTO or the?
He was the ad specialist
Okay, so
for GTO. John DeLorean of the DeLorean Gullwing car fame. He was the one that really brought it up to the management at Pontiac to kind of defy the system, because at that time it was not allowed to have that size engine over 300. I think it was 350 cubes underneath a intermediate car. So he was essentially the birth of the muscle car movement was with Pontiac GTO.
In 1970, they blew out the graphics. It was like they stepped it up that year versus '69. Really
Extremely
went all
mod.
out.
The Judge was actually came about as a cartoon car to match the Roadrunner. Everybody wanted to try to fight to get something out there that was flashy, and they decided to do it. Whereas the Roadrunner was pretty much bare bones. You could hardly get any options on a Roadrunner. And Pontiac decided, let's have it where you can have a little creature comforts with it, and went with it. It came from essentially from the show Laugh In, and Sammy Davis Jr. made it famous. He'd come out in a judge's robe and wig and yell, "Here come the judge, here come the judge." And that's essentially where the Judge came from. In fact, in 1969, the famous commercial for the Judge, Paul Revere and the Raiders, the musical group, actually did the commercial for the Judge. So there was an actual GTO Judge commercial out in 1969.
Well, how many miles are on the car? It looks like the pedals have very little wear, looking at unless they've been replaced.
Yeah,
they look
unknown. It's showing 75,117, which we all know it's at least 175. So possibly 275, but I would guess it's probably it is the 175.
You don't think somebody just put it up, drove it occasionally, because the gas prices or you think they really burned?
I don't know. I think it got driven quite a bit. I know. I'm unsure about the first two owners. I know the third owner drove it quite frequently. He loved driving it. The fourth owner, I think he drove it just occasionally. He had a few other GTOs and other Pontiacs and stuff as well.
That was black and yellow. The
It was
stripe
black
blue.
inside. It's black, yellow, red.
Okay.
Now, actually, these probably are the wrong stripes. I know the graphics are the wrong stripes.
Okay. I've seen
But-
some that had blue on them. Some the red car.
See, you had 4 different, I think, stripe kits. These actually belong on the green or the gold.
Ah, okay.
But you know what comes on these has the black letters, so you don't see the Judge as much. I actually like the yellow lettering. It actually throws it out at you more.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good.
And most people don't notice this green around it. So
Can you see the old top under there? Is it
the old top, that was replaced. I think he did that around 95, but it just ate through everything. It's just so sad.
Hey, I remember when I was behind you one day in Pinson at the Main Street. I said, "Well, that's a 4-speed. He's shifting gears," and I was.
I had a cop pull me over one time. Oh, he goes, "I just wanted to see if it was a real Judge."
Hold up! Hold it! Hold it! 3 tires are there. It's rolling. That's impressive. I think you've done this before, right?
I can tell by the way he's backing up. Not his first rodeo.
Right. It'll be close. Look at that. Wow. This part of Pontiac history leaves the driveway in Pinson, Alabama, and heads north to a new owner. We asked, we looked, but when it finally did come available, it was not a cheap muscle car. The final bid was over $18,000, and we know it was worth every penny to someone. It was a bit out of our pocketbook range. We'll keep hunting, we'll keep making friends, and learn some automotive history along the way. This is really it. You're gonna have a space in your driveway for something else. You need a bonus for this one. Get charged more. For whom the bell tolls.
Yeah. Perfect timing.
You take a drive around your town, that classic cheap muscle car may be hiding in plain sight. Approach the owner with an open mind. Just talk to them, hear their story, find out about the car, make friends. One day they might just want to sell it. Drop a comment. Tell us about your small town find. Thanks for watching Junkyard Life, the story beneath the rust.